All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. God bless everybody. I hope y'all are doing pretty dang great on this beautiful, wonderful Pump City kind of, well, not really Pump City, kind of just a chopping sideways kind of day. Guys, make sure to smash up the dang likes as usual. If we can get 1,000 likes within the first half hour, we'll be giving away 1,000 USDT, all right? If we can get 1,000 likes within the first half hour, we'll be giving away 1,000 USDT, all right? So make sure to smash the dang like, and we got to give a major shout to everyone in the chat. Liberty and Trust, happy hump day. Nice cut, G. This ain't no cut, bro. This ain't no cut. This ain't no haircut, bro. This ain't no cut, all right? You know what this is? It's called a little bit of your wife's hair gel, because I had to see somebody today who I didn't want to think I was a total burnout. Since usually I go around looking like a total burnout. But I had a reason for this person to think that I wasn't a total burnout. I had to fake it today. Shout out to my man Alexis Silver, who says QT ended, rate cuts coming, so there's no reason for being bearish. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. ETH, pumperoni and cheese, baby. Bitcoin's pumping. We're seeing some good things happening right now for some nice relief coming into the dang markets. All right, we've got some very interesting things to discuss today. Mr. Ethereum says, let's go, Mr. Ethereum. Where you get all your Ethereum news. I guess Mr. Ethereum is where you get all your Ethereum news. Shout out to Getchy. Shout out to Splash up in the house. Shout out to Matt Aleo 4412. Major shout to Yowzer Doinkosaurus. Please tell Jay to pay the pump song. I'm off to bed. Sayonara, Habibi. Shout out to Not Quicker. I hope Jay's in a long and not a short from nearby. I'm in no trades from nearby, to be honest with you. All right, shout out to Crypto City. What's going on, my bro? Shout out to Crypto Lifer, and shout out to Musa 2426. Shout out to Paper Beats Rock 1. He says 50%. Cherry City Bullies says ha 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 ha. How'd I get your wife's hair gel? No, my wife's hair gel, bro. Sorry, I meant to say my wife's hair gel, not your wife's hair gel, but you got me there with that one. We gonna dump soon? We're gonna talk about it, all right? Shout out to Liberty and Trust. Major shout out to Crypto Coons holding it down with the wrench. Shout out to Saved by the Blood Rom 325, who says, what's up? All right, what's up? What's up? All right. Well, thank you guys for all the hair compliments, all right? Make me feel real good about myself. I'm feeling real good about it. Now, let's pop on over to the Bitcoin chart here. All right. Let's pop on over to the Bitcoin chart. Guys, so as we know, as we all know, and as we've been discussing for quite some time, man, oh man, would you look at this, guys? Well, first of all, I mean, we don't want to zoom out too much. We want to keep it local. Yesterday, we were looking for a daily close above the level of 90,500. We indeed got the close above 90,500. And not only that, guys, but we've even locally now made a higher high here. Now we're flirting with bearish divs on the 4 hour. We are flirting. We're making eyes across the room. You know, we see that 4 div. The 4 div sees us. We see the 4 div. We're like, sup 4 div? 4 hour bear div. I see you over there. I see you forming right there. But there's some good news. Very flat top, flat wave, the red dots not wanting to print. The yellow oscillator looks maybe like she wants to not cross the zero line. Okay, when we get to our higher time frame, starting with our weekly, we are very close to printing a green dot on the weekly. We go to the 7-day, which is different than the weekly, guys. The 7-day right now is printing a massive big BitBoy green dot, the likes of which we have not seen since the heat of the bear market. The 6-day also printing. The 5-day printing. The 4-day confirmed. Big bottom, hidden bullish divergence. Okay, is this the beginning of some big relief? Some big relief to come and backtest the trend line all the way up here at around $116,000. I think it very well could be, guys. You know, from the low at around $80,000, potentially a 42% move to the upside. I think it very well could be. Let's keep in mind here, the overall context of the market on these high time frames is quite bearish. I mean, we can't ignore the fact that we've confirmed the 2-month bearish divergence here. Historically speaking, that has been the top. But also historically speaking, guys, even when the top is in, when we get the big old green dots on market cipher B on the weekly, even in the heat of a bear market, historically speaking, well, it gives us like a 45% pump to the upside, as can be seen from these 2 previous bear market big green dot examples on the weekly time frame market cipher B. And of course, that 3rd green dot was the bottom of the bear market going right into the bull. So I would not be surprised right now if we get a back test of around $115,000 value area high of the range. All right. Confluence with the back test of that trend line right now. This could be big, guys. This could be a big move to the upside. This weekly green dot confirms at the end of the week, guys, and we are in for a big pump. Okay? That's my opinion. Of course, our next target to the upside and next major resistance is $96,000. All right? $96,000. Remember, the weekly green dot has not even begun to print yet, so we could still do something like this, man. We could still stay in here for quite some time. All right? I'm not saying it's going to happen immediately. Remember, it does take some time. Even going back into the historical records, when we confirm the big green dots, remember, guys, we confirm the green dot right here. All right? And we are right now probably here. All right? So back in April, the confirmation of the green dot, you know, it took us some time. This is a 2-week period, a 3-week period of basically nothing, and then we get the big move. You know, the time before that, we confirm the green dot. We chop around for literally about a month before we get the big move to the upside. Sorry, I feel like, who do I feel like right now? I don't know who I actually sound like now, but I sound like a strange person. Jason Casper, he sounds like such a strange person sometimes when he just starts to talk like this. Alright. A bull trap. Yeah, someone said a bull trap. Yeah, I do think this could be a bull trap. Alright. Now, let's talk about a few things. First of all, Expedia. Okay. The fear and greed index, guys. 28. We're becoming less fearful by the day, guys. People are becoming less fearful. People are happy. People are making gains. Yes, guys, yes. We lost 100% of everything, but we just made 1% back. And as crypto traders, we easily forget about the massive losses for the small wins. It's not really about the number as much as it is about the color of your P&L. Yeah, I lost 100,000, but look, I'm up $3,000 in the green. You know, it's a weird thing with us crypto guys. You know what I mean? That's interesting. Also, guys, in the news, Economic Times Bitcoin rebound from 84K low jumps 7% to near 92. I mean, we're over 92. We hit 93 as the crypto market cap hits $3.3 trillion. All right. So this is the total crypto market cap right now is up about 7%. And in this period, we have seen altcoins take the main center stage. Ethereum rose strongly over the same period, and many altcoins are seeing moves to the upside. Of course, this rebound is happening after a recent dip that pushed Bitcoin down to around $80,000, which appears to have created a demand zone for dip buyers to enter. All right, so a few things to keep in mind here, guys. You know, remember, like I said, we definitely saw some interest in buyers here when we came down to the Fibonacci golden pocket. All right, we hit our low at around $80,000. We got our move up to the value area low of the range. Sharp rejection, but bouncing right from the Fibonacci golden pocket is showing buyers stepping in, and now we've officially made a higher high, closing a daily candle above that value area. A few things to be aware of here, guys. A few risks to be aware of, according to the article, is that despite this rally, many analysts, including yours truly, see this as a relief bounce, all right, and not a confirmation of a continuation of the uptrend. The reason why many analysts are seeing this as a relief bounce, not a continuation of the uptrend, simply is because of this, guys. I mean, you take a look at the trend line of the bull market, and we've broken down with multiple weekly closes and a big monthly, fat old big monthly close below with confirmed bear divs on some very high time frames. This does seem like a change in the uptrend that we've seen since the beginning of 2023 in January. All right. And so, like I said right now, 96,000 major resistance. If we can reclaim 96, we can get a big move up to 116 value area high, in which, in my opinion, we would make a lower high and continue down. All right. So, as far as for traders, what does this mean? Well, this means we are looking for, if we can hold 92,000, we are, as traders, we're looking for that move up to 96,000 for our next target, like as a day trader. And if we can flip 92 into support, then we are looking for a move up to, in my opinion, I'm sorry, if we can flip 96 into support, then I'd be looking for a move up to around 108 as a major target, and then 115 as a major target. All right. What does this mean for long-term investors? Well, in my opinion, it's the first sign that a good opportunity could be coming very soon to buy Bitcoin at lower prices, which brings us to this article right here, where the trading hero, Eric Jackson, all right, a trading hero, they call him a trading hero. He's a hedge fund manager. He's the founder and president of EMJ Capital. All right, so this guy is legit, all right? But he says that the crypto bear market is a moment of maximum opportunity. And you know, I have to agree with this guy because, you know, the money is made in the bear market. If we are truly heading into a crypto bear market, if we are, we might not, right? We might not. But that really is maximum opportunity. Now, this guy, a hedge fund manager, says he's never been more bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and he believes that this is more promising than even during the past highs or even in the AI-driven rally. According to this guy, crypto's potential is massive, especially if Bitcoin becomes the global reserve collateral and international settlement rail. I mean, that's a big if, to be honest with you, but it could happen. And he says that if we are heading into a bear market right now, then he is looking at that as a massive opportunity, maximum opportunity, moment of maximum opportunity. And he's absolutely right. I mean, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I was just talking to somebody today about how I would not be surprised within 10 years if we see Bitcoin at $500,000, maybe even more. It's not so crazy to think that Bitcoin could 10x from here and hit $1 million. I mean, in my lifetime, in all of our lifetimes pretty much. But when I say my lifetime, I really meant my lifetime in Bitcoin. You know, I've seen it go from $600 when I got my first Bitcoins in 2016, right around the summertime, right around here. So I've seen it go from about $600 all the way to, well, I can't even, let's see, let's actually see what percent I've seen it do. You know, I've seen it do a 25,000%, guys, which is crazy. And so if we're going to go to $1 million from here, you know, that is, let's see, $1 million Bitcoin, that's going to be about 1,000%, all right? About 1,000%. That's 1/26th of what I've already seen it do, right? If we're going to go to $500,000 Bitcoin from here, I mean, that's only 400%. That's really not so crazy considering in the last bull market, we saw Bitcoin do 677%. Right? So, yeah, it's going to be, if we head into a bear market, similar to bear markets we've seen in the past, that's going to be an insane opportunity to make some serious money in an asset like Bitcoin, which I know in the past people, you know, they're trying to outperform Bitcoin with their altcoins. That didn't work so well the past few years. But, you know, to each their own. Now, this leads me into something else that's quite interesting here, which is this. You know, there's the whole FUD surrounding MicroStrategy and being, you know, excluded from Morgan Stanley from their trading index. But this is interesting because now Michael Saylor is in talks with Morgan Stanley to try and stay on the list. So Morgan Stanley is reviewing whether or not to exclude companies whose business is heavily weighed toward crypto from its indexes, like MicroStrategy. And as of now, MicroStrategy is part of all major indexes, which means many passive funds, ETF, and institutional investors hold the stock because it's included in the index, right? If you're going to be trading an index such as the S&P 500, you're investing in all those companies at the same time just because you're holding the index, right? So being included in indexes like this is good for MicroStrategy because investors are investing in MicroStrategy without necessarily specifically investing in MicroStrategy, right? They're just investing in the index. So, and according to experts, if MicroStrategy is excluded and other index providers follow suit, it could trigger up to $8.8 billion in forced outflows. That's pretty crazy, man. That is pretty crazy. This decision is expected by January 15th, 2026. Until then, MicroStrategy is engaging with MSCI, Morgan Stanley, according to Michael Saylor, but there's no guarantee about the outcome. So this is very interesting. The talks are still going on. If MicroStrategy is excluded from these indexes, MSCI being the first, and then other indexes following suit, and we see billions of dollars of outflows. I mean, this could be devastating. What's happening right now could actually be the catalyst that gives us our next big opportunity in cryptocurrency, honestly. Because we have been talking a while about the potential of MicroStrategy having to sell Bitcoin. We even looked at an article yesterday where the CEO of Strategy said there is a potential scenario where we would sell our Bitcoin, all right, based on two conditions. And, you know, if this happens, it could be very bearish for MicroStrategy. It could lead to the conditions where they actually are forced to sell Bitcoin. If that happens, I mean, my goodness, you can imagine the shockwaves that would send through the crypto space. And again, right now, the question about the 4-year cycle is, are we still in a 4-year cycle based on the halving? Are we still going to see a traditional bear market like we've seen the last few cycles? We cannot know this for sure until 2027, really, to be honest with you. That's when we'll know for sure. Hindsight will tell us. But if we are going to see a traditional bear market, it's just so interesting that January 2026, which according to the halving cycle should be pretty much the most bearish year we've seen in crypto since 2022, right? 2026, it should be similar to 2022, similar to 2018, right? These big drops, these big bear markets. It's just so interesting to see that potentially we're seeing a fundamental catalyst that could facilitate the bear market that many are saying could never happen this time because of institutional investing and all that kind of stuff. So it's just very interesting. And again, if we do end up in a bear market, and we're coming down below, you know, our macro golden pocket, which is going to be, you know, from bear market bottom to top on log scale, it's going to be around 56,000. If we put the Fibonacci on log scale, it's going to be down in the mid 30s. I would say this: if we have a pullback similar to previous pullbacks, this actually is a legitimate target to be targeting. if institutional investors are going to keep us from having that bigger pullback, this would be a target worth buying. Both of these are good, actually, in my opinion, buy targets. Like for me, buying under 60K, and then especially buying under 50K or even under 40K are amazing opportunities for the next big bull run, right? So these are just some things to keep in mind, y'all, as we are watching what's happening here, as we are looking for a potential, and it's becoming more and more probable, relief rally in the midst of a larger bearish environment. And of course, this is not financial advice, right? I could absolutely be wrong, and we are not going to come down, in which case, well, I publicly made a fool of myself, right? Because I said I've sold, I publicly sold Bitcoin at 80K, 100K. I sold at 120K, and I'm not going to buy again until we're under 70K. All right, so in February, we'll find out if Jason Casper's retarded or smart. Because in February, I really think we'll know whether or not we're going to have a real bear market or not. All right, I think by February we will know if this rally we're getting now is legit, and it's just going to continue the uptrend, and this was a big old fake out of the trend line, right? This is a big fake out of the trend line, and it's like, whoop, just kidding, you know, massive bear trap. We flip the trend line back into support, and off we go. Or we'll see if we get a move to backtest the trend line and then continue down lower, right? This trend line right here is the line between smart and retarded for your boy Jason Casper, all right? The line of retardation right here, the green line of retardation. The green line of retardation. All right? Now make sure to smash up the likes. Speaking of the green line of retardation, you know, the same adoption BS was spouted last cycle. Every cycle, people scream super cycle. I know, right? That's another reason why I'm just going to maintain with my bearish bias here until proven otherwise by the market. There's no reason to assume why this time will be different. You know, until it's different, there's no reason to assume it will be different. You know, but yeah, make sure to smash the likes, guys. As I said in the beginning, if we can get 1,000 likes from the first half hour, we will be giving away 1,000 USDT. Let's zoom in a little bit here and discuss what's happening locally. All right. The Bitcoin price has closed the daily candle above 92,000. I'm sorry, hang on. This is the wrong chart. Let's go to the Bybit chart here. We've closed the candle above 90,500. That is bullish. We're about to confirm a hidden bullish divergence on our 7-day chart. And right now, we are chopping around within this area here. We're going to go down to our 1-hour time frame and take a quick look at what has happened here. So I would say that this is our sideways range. We're going to take it from around 96,000 POC. Hang on. What the heck? What in the world? Hang on. It is all right, there we go. Yeah, so I'd say that we can pull our sideways range from right around here, that $96,000 level, to our current place. And not only are we above the value area low of the massive 1-year range, but we're also above POC of the local range. And if you see, we got a break above, we got a back test of the orange line, which is the macro value area low. We also got the back test of the POC, which means, guys, like technically speaking here, as long as we are holding this support around $90,000, then we are looking at a $96,000 Bitcoin coming in very soon. We have this liquidity here, very easy to grab, right? We've currently taken this liquidity and we found a little bit of resistance there. What would be a major warning sign? For me, a major warning sign would be this, okay? We have to recognize the fact that we had a very fast move up, just as fast we had to move down, but that means this is still a big like volume gap right here, all right? If we come down to try and backtest $90,000 and we don't hold these lows that we made right here, and also the low that we held here, right? You see how this is a big support resistance split? Then the probabilities are we fall right through and come all the way back down to $87,000. All right, so as long as we're holding this level, I'm gonna maintain a bullish outlook here and expect that $96,000 Bitcoin to come in. If we take a look at the TPO, you can see that we, on the way up, left behind many single prints. All right, we left behind many single prints here, which basically mean if we start coming below, let's say 89.8, we're gonna slide right all the way back down to the $87,000 zone very, very easily. So it's a pretty obvious line in the sand for me here, which means I'm going to be looking for higher so long as we don't lose that level, which means obviously if we come down toward that level, I'm going to be looking for a bounce here. All right, if we chop around in this little area here and we come back down towards that low, you can bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to be looking for this as a major support to look for a long trade. All right, in addition to this, the high volume node at around 91 is also going to be an area that we could come down to and get a bounce from, right? And just continue this kind of like upward ascending Bitcoin loves to do, where we never actually take the lows, we consolidate and make higher lows, right? So this POC is also looking mighty nice around 91 for me. So what I'm saying is this: if I'm looking for a fresh long, it's this box right here. This box right here, we're taking it back to the support resistance flip that we made over the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Plus the lows that we made on Tuesday after the big break. This is the box to look for now, a bounce to take it up to 96 if we get a move down to that area, all right? And again, if we lose this box, if we don't see the actual bounce, then there's no reason to take a long trade, and we should expect to move back down towards the bottom of the range, which is coming in around $87,000. And if we pull the Fibonacci from the low to the high, you could see we do have the $85,000 618 coming in right around that area as well. Depending on where we pull our fib from, you can see lots of confluences back down in this area here. All right, so really for me, the way I'm looking at this locally is I'm going to stay very bullish so long as we are able to hold this based on our high time frame bullishness. We lose this, I'm going to be looking cautiously for a bounce from around the $86,000 area. Although we have to keep in mind that if we are going to lose this box again, that's probably going to give us some pretty bearish divergences here, right? So I would be more cautious about longing 85 the second time. I am more interested in a back test of 90,000 right now, and then shooting for the $96,000 zone. If we can come above the $96,000 zone, guys, I am pretty bullish in the medium term, expecting a move up to around between our golden pocket. That's going to be around 107,000. Up to 115,000 at our value area high, right? So that would mean this, guys, if we get the break above 96, the local value area high, the macro point of control, and we come for a back test, then we have ourselves a beautiful opportunity on our hands to capitalize on a move of probably about 17% at that point, give or take. Which is a beautiful risk to reward ratio depending on our entry here. Of course, this is with a 4% stop loss. If you're a lower time frame trader, you'll probably be easily able to get in with a much less stop loss than that. You know, oftentimes I'm not taking trades with more than a 1.5% stop. So that could give us a beautiful, you know, risk to reward ratio, even in just a 10% move. but potentially looking for a 20% move depending on our entry and how we get in there. And then once we're up here, this is a real make it or break it moment for Bitcoin as well, because look, you know, the chart is the chart, right? I have my bearish bias, but if we are reclaiming this trend line, holding as support, well, there's then the probabilities are we continue up. You know, right now I don't think that's very probable based on our high time frame situation here. And even if we were to make another high and take out 125, personally for me, I would still have a bearish bias. I would still be looking simply to do this with bearish divergences. And, you know, what does the market love to do? The market loves to wreck everybody, right? The market loves to wreck everybody. Right now, we're trading sideways. We come from the low to the high to the low, back to the high. No reason why we can't get another rejection back there. Yeah. And that's pretty much how I'm looking at this. It's very difficult for me right now to and you know, if I'm wrong about this, I will say I'm wrong, and that I was big time wrong, but it's very difficult for me to see the 2-month bear div confirmed, the monthly market cipher B now below the 60 line, well below the 60 line, momentum wave at the 48 level. Historically speaking, guys, as soon as we lose the 60 market cipher B on the monthly, we get an insane drop. All right, we get an insane drop. So you can see back here, we lose 60 on market cipher B, and from that point, we end up with a 60% drop. You know, we lost it here, and from that point, we end up with a 60% drop, and so we lost it here. You know, if we end up with a 60% drop, that is going to be approximately coming down to just under $40,000, where historically, that's exactly where we would expect the bear market to end. So yeah, it's pretty on schedule thus far. Everything's right on schedule, man. Everything is right on schedule. So let's see what happens here, you know? Let's see what happens here. I would love to be wrong. Actually, I would hate to be wrong. I would miss out on making a lot of money, but let's take a look at ETH, guys, because ETH is pumping like a wild woman in distress, running through the wilderness with a laundry basket on her head, looking strangely like Janet Yellen. ETH has had a very nice higher low put in yesterday and a higher high today. This is a daily chart, guys. If we can close today's daily candle above the previous high, I do believe this is setting us up for some serious gains on altcoins across the board, guys. And I don't think Bitcoin needs to make a new all-time high to see ETH make a new all-time high. The reason I say that is because we see this downward sloping parabola, which is a one-way ticket to squeeze city, right? Short squeeze city. When you see this kind of curve on a chart, it means liquidity is above all these disgusting looking lower highs. Liquidity means stop losses. When you start to come up here, you're going to trigger stop losses. Stop losses will push the price up, because on the order book, a stop loss is a buy order. So when shorts get stopped out, it pushes price up, more shorts get stopped, which pushes price up, more shorts get stopped, which pushes price up. The next thing you know, we've squeezed all the way back to the top of this disgusting looking price action. When we take a look at our 7-day time frame on ETH right now, we are seeing very soon we are going to print a green dot on the 7-day. We go to the 6-day. We are printing a trigger wave on the 6-day market cipher B. We go to our 4-day. We are printing a beautiful continuation bottom confirmed on the 4-day market cipher B. Now, I just want you to take a look at the order of events. Bullish divergence. Now, confirmed continuation trigger wave. This is a very, objectively speaking, a very bullish sign. All right, so this adds to the narrative, in my opinion, that we very well may see ETH shoot up at least to $4,000. I'm gonna hold out for 5,500. I think Bitcoin can come to 115, and we're gonna see ETH come to around 5,500. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. And then, of course, I think we're gonna head into more sideways and down until the summer, fall of 2026. That's what I'm kind of looking at right now. That's what I'm expecting right now. All right. Now, this ETH chart, this 4-day, you know, like, let's clear off everything here. Just look at this objectively. All right. Objectively speaking, what did we do here? Man, this is pretty wild. All right, let's just close everything off here. I just want to show you guys like what this looks like here. All right. We have ourselves a very important area of support and resistance. All right, $2,000. Right. What we did is we made a left shoulder, we made a head, and now we're making a potential right shoulder from the Fibonacci golden pocket 618, from not from the swing low, but from this last swing low. And what we have on Market Cipher B is, as we make the head, we see the classic bullish divergence, right? The momentum is getting higher as the price is getting lower. That's the bottom signal. When you print that bottom signal, when the money flow crosses like this, and you print another deep wave, continued direction, that's a continuation pattern. This really looks like Ethereum is poised to make a new all-time high. All right, it really does look like it's poised to make a new all-time high. Something else that's very interesting about ETH, I think, right now, that helps this potential ETH pump narrative, is the ETH Bitcoin chart. All right, take a look at the ETH Bitcoin chart. This is how ETH performs against Bitcoin. All right. Let's go to the weekly time frame here. Actually, let's go to the 2-week. Look at what we're seeing here on ETH versus Bitcoin. We are seeing a massive bottom all the way down at the 2019 lows. And we have seen a big impulse to the upside and a back test now of the high volume node. All right, we go to our weekly chart and look at how the momentum wave is about to print after the bullish divergence. All right, this is ETH performing against Bitcoin. Look at the money flow crossing from purple into blue. We have a triple drive of bullish divergence right here. We have a big impulse to the upside. And then we have a back test of this major POC with a confirmed trigger wave on the 4-day time frame. This looks really nice. It really looks like we're about to see Bitcoin get some relief, and that relief is going to allow some money to flow from Bitcoin into altcoins and give us some interesting pumps here. All right, let's take a quick look at Bitcoin dominance, because we have, even today, like, before we look at Bitcoin dominance, let's take a look at the daily candle of ETH versus Bitcoin. Ethereum today has outperformed Bitcoin by 3.5%. All right, so let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. This is showing us, is money in the crypto market coming into Bitcoin or leaving Bitcoin? Well, today we've seen money leave Bitcoin. It's pretty clear that money is going into altcoins. We've seen that money go into ETH, right? Again, the Bitcoin, excuse me, dominance chart has broken down from this big channel. And so I'd say right now the trend on this is down, right? The trend on this is down. And if we take a look at altcoin dominance, would you look at this? This is altcoin dominance. Today we're seeing money leaving Bitcoin and flowing into altcoins. We're seeing a nice bottom trigger wave right here. And if we take a look at USDT dominance, right, we're just following where the money is going right now. The money is leaving Tether, all right? So money's coming out of stablecoins, money's coming out of Bitcoin, and it's going into altcoins, right? These three charts together, Bitcoin dominance, USDT dominance, and altcoin dominance, is showing us where's this money in crypto going. We know that we've seen a 7% increase on the total crypto market cap. All right, 7%. Total crypto market cap is up 7%. All right, of that total 7% total crypto market cap, we know that money is not going into Tether. It's not going into stable coins, not going into Bitcoin. It's going into altcoins right now. So if Bitcoin's going to hold the support that we've just flipped, I'm talking about this support around 90,500. This keeps the door open for big altcoin gains to happen. I'm not saying they're all going to hit all-time highs. ETH looks like she wants to for sure. But again, the recipe for altcoin gains is Bitcoin holding support and Bitcoin ranging, right? So as long as Bitcoin's above 90,500, that's very healthy. And then we're looking at total crypto market cap. Is money coming in? Yes. Okay, great. Bitcoin holds support. Money's coming into crypto. Where's that money going? Is it going into Bitcoin? Is it going into stable coins? We want to see it not going into Bitcoin or stables. We want to see it going into alts. And then we take a look at the altcoin charts that look promising, like the ETH chart right now, with this really nice 4-day continuation pattern here. This disgusting looking price action that looks like she wants to get squeezed, right? We can take a look at some other assets as well. You know, XRP in a similar position to Bitcoin, where we have this descending kind of channel here. Now, XRP has not changed market structure bullishly. All right, let's take a look at the 4-day chart on XRP. Definitely does not look nearly as nice as ETH, but we're seeing a lot of these altcoins with similar looking charts. All right, similar looking charts. Chainlink not looking as good as ETH. Let's check out Sol here. All right, I would say this about Sol. This is the 4-day. We had a bullish divergence down here, and now we have a trigger wave with money flow increasing. And this trigger wave, it does look very bullish to me, because depending on how you interpret this, you could interpret this as a hidden bullish divergence in and of itself. Let's go to the 2-day. Yeah, so on Solana, we have some interesting things happening. We have hidden bullish divergences at the bottom of this range while we're seeing money flow come up. So I think the ingredients are here, guys, for some winter crypto altcoin gains. I'm gonna say it's looking pretty good for some winter crypto altcoin gains. All right, so not looking the worst right now for the winter crypto altcoin gains. All right, can we look at Aerodrome? Yeah, we could look at Aerodrome. AERO. You said on the 4-hour? Why are we looking at the 4-hour? Okay, so here's what I would say. I need to start on the weekly before I look at the 4-hour. All right, I need to start on the weekly before I look at the 4-hour. Okay. Oh, man. We are ranging around. All right, we don't have any hidden bullish divergence. We don't have daily bullish divergence. We don't have 4-hour bullish divergence. The only thing I would say about this is we had a fast move down and a fast move back up with the close above this previous low here. But I don't necessarily see anything about this that gets me really excited on the indicator. Not saying we can't pump from here. I'm just saying I don't necessarily see anything that gets me super excited on the indicator, right? It doesn't. I don't see any like major bottom signals looking like they wanna just pop on in right now. You know what I mean? So I don't mean that in a negative way by any means. All right, don't mean that in a negative way by any means. Let's see who else we got in the chat right here. Is this it? I did ask in the poll, is this it? Or did I say, is this actually happening? What did my poll actually say? Let's check it out here. I forget what the poll actually said. It said, can you believe this is happening? 66% say yes, they can believe that this is happening. Guys, I have to remind you, if you want to trade Bitcoin and altcoins, make sure to check out, first of all, KCEX, lowest deal on fees. All right, 0% limit order, 0.01% market order. It's the best exchange for scalping, no KYC. All right. Also, guys, if you want to trade inverse perpetual, the places to go for that are going to be ZOOMEX right now. ZOOMEX has a promotion with Jason Casper. All right, deposit bonuses, plus, depending on your trading volume, you could win a dang Rolex. All right, I mean, picture yourself chilling with a Rolex. Wouldn't that change your whole life? All right, and then of course I'm also trading on BLOFIN. BLOFIN offers inverse perpetual contracts as well, guys. All right, so make sure to check out BLOFIN. BLOFIN is a great exchange. Also, guys, if you want to join the Casper crew, where every single day we give the trade setups in advance, myself and 3 other instructors. All right, gave the short from the exact top in real time. You can go to jasoncaspertrading.com, click the link to join the best trading community in the world. Every single day we do games. We do games every day for prizes which are redeemable for money and other cool things. All right, every single month we play games where we give away thousands of dollars. It's the best trading community in the world. We got some Black Friday deals going on right now. Check it out if you're interested. Also, guys, if you know how to trade but you don't have capital, I'm officially partnered with Klein Funding, a crypto prop firm that runs on Bybit. You do not need to KYC to trade on Klein Funding. All right, if I have 25% discounts on these funded accounts, a $200,000 account, 25% discount on this price of $563. We even have the Instant Pro accounts, which do not require a challenge. You can immediately start trading a $50,000 account, 70% profit split for around $1,000, give or take, because of our 15% discount in the description. Also, guys, I am partnered with Market Monkey, the best order flow platform in the world. It has millions of indicators. I mean, honestly, the community, it's basically like, it's amazing. There's so much stuff in here. All right, so many indicators you can use, so many things. Plus, you can draw on it. All right, it's pretty awesome. All right, you can draw on it. You got heat maps, liquidity maps, CBD, open interest, all that good stuff. All right, link in the description of the video. All right, now let's see who else we got in the chat over here. Trump coin, is Trump coin pumping? Is Trump coin pumping? Shout out to Red Elephant. By the way, guys, oh, Orange is talking. All right, we'll check out Orange. Could you take a quick look at TAO? Yeah. Let's take a quick look at TOE. And then we'll see if we can find the Orange Talker. Well, we're grinding along support. Technically speaking, we made a bullish div on the wick. If we don't include the wick, no bullish div. The daily chart, we have a bullish divergence here on the daily. For me, like a real sign of strength here would have to be a close above the previous high at 323, which would then cause me to want to look for a long trade to squeeze all this disgusting looking, very squeezable stuff, right? Of course, a more aggressive entry would be if we confirm today's bullish divergence, but that is very aggressive because we have not changed market structure and we don't really see any macro bullish signs here. But I would not be surprised to see about a 43% move to the upside if we close that bullish divergence today with a stop below the low. You know, that daily close would also be putting us back above very key support resistance split. Obviously, a safer entry would be to wait for the back test, and you could probably get in with a better risk to reward that way anyway. and take it up to 421, or maybe even the historic resistance at around 460, which is just a really nice support resistance flip, as can be seen from the chart, right? We don't need to have any fancy tools just to see that 460 resistance, support, resistance, 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 right? So if this is now our sideways range, we're pretty much looking for an acceptance back into the range, which in my opinion would be a daily close above 323, our previous lower high. Then once we get that, we can look for the move back toward the top of the range. Thank you so much for the super chat, Gabucci. Let's check out Trump talking live. All right, youtube.com. Let's go to youtube.com. Trader Geo's live. Oh wait, no, this is old. All right, Trump live. All right, let's give it a listen.
A lot, $5 billion. You could do more. Creating at least 4,000 new jobs. Stellantis announced that it will invest $13 billion to expand its U.S.-based manufacturing by more than 50% and open new manufacturing facilities across the country. And I think a big part of that is also the tariffs. Because of tariffs, they're coming in, not only the automobile industry, AI, we're leading China in AI, we're leading everybody in AI, we're leading everybody in everything. We have the hottest country right now. I will tell you, a lot of political people behind me, great political people, very successful political people. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Hot, baby.
1 year ago, we had a dead country. And now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And it started from November 5th, but it also started when we did the tariffs, and we've had tremendous support on the tariffs. It's bringing in trillions of dollars of wealth. It's bringing in national security. And I've stopped 8 wars, and of the 8 wars, 5 of them have been because of tariffs and trade. So they're very important. And General Motors plans to invest $4 billion as it brings its manufacturing back to the United States from Mexico. After falling by 5% under Biden, U.S. auto production has surged by 10% so far this year. You know, I won the auto workers vote, but now even the head of the auto workers said Trump is the greatest president we've ever seen. And he happens to be right about that. But we're protecting our auto workers, and we're making it easier for every family to afford high-quality cars. In other words, we're bringing automobiles back and the manufacturing of automobiles back into this country. We lost 52% over the years, 52% of our automobile manufacturing. You see it, closed factories all over the place. Now they're all opening up. They're being, in most cases, they're being knocked down, and new ones are being built in their place. And a big beneficiary is the state of Michigan, but South Carolina, even states that didn't really do too much with the automobiles, they're opening up plants. It's been amazing. So between automobile plants, AI plants, and plants of every other nation, really every other type, including chips, we're going to have a big percentage of the chip market very soon. Not because of the CHIPS Act, which was horrible and ridiculous, where we just gave these companies billions and billions of dollars and they just kept the money, but because of what we did with tariffs. They have to build here, otherwise they're going to have to pay tariffs. They won't be able to do business in the United States. And we're going to have a big percentage of the chip industry. As of about a year ago, 2 years ago, we had none. And now we're going to have a very big percentage when it all finishes out. So I'd like to ask Secretary Duffy to speak, and then Mr. Farley, and then Filosa, and Urbanik, and Castrita. And also we're going to ask some of our political leaders to speak, because let me tell you, they went out of their way. This was not easy. People were brainwashed. This is a green new scam. And people were paying too much for a car that didn't work as well. And now they're going to have a great car that's going to be environmentally friendly, but it's going to cost a lot less, and it's going to work great. All of the nonsense is being taken out of the cars. So, Secretary Duffy, could you say a few words?
Thank you, Mr. President. So yesterday at the cabinet meeting, the president was talking about affordability, and the way that Democrats talk about affordability is a lie. Today is a perfect example of that. So These CAFE standards used what was contrary to the law. The Congress set a rule that says you have to look at combustion engines. Biden and Buttigieg actually did an analysis using
Edge.
I'm sorry. Edge used EVs and hybrids to come up with a 62 mile an hour per gallon standard, which I think the car companies will tell you is completely unattainable. So they spent a lot of money on technology trying to meet the unattainable standard, driving up the cost of a car, number one. And then number two, if they couldn't meet the unattainable standard, they had to trade for carbon, costing billions of dollars, and again, driving up the price of the car. So, Mr. President, what Democrats were doing, we're not making them more affordable, they're making them less affordable. The consequence of that is going to be that more Americans can afford to buy a new car, which means they're going to be safer on the roads because of all the great new technology we have that save lives. So we'll have less death on American roads. These rules are going to allow the automakers to make vehicles that Americans want to purchase, not vehicles that Joe Biden and Buttigieg wants them to build, which is important. But also, this is important for American jobs. The more cars we sell, the more jobs we have in this country. And so this is jobs, this is freedom, and this is common sense, Mr. President. So thank you for your leadership. And I appreciate what the Senate did with the big, beautiful bill and what we've done here today. So thank you, Mr.
Very
President.
much. A big, beautiful bill is it's something. It's amazing. Wait till people see the benefits and the lower taxes that they're going to have, lower regulations. So, how about Ford?
Mr. President and Secretary, all the important lawmakers here, competitors, today is a victory of common sense and affordability. We're very proud of Ford to be the #1 auto producer in our country. 80% of the vehicles we sell here we make in our country.
Right.
And we never left, unlike many of our competitors. We're the #1 exporter, and we have the most auto factory workers. And this CAFE standard that is aligned with customer demand is the right move for a lot of reasons. We were #2 last year in EV sales. We were #3 in hybrid, and we're the leading brand for combustion. We believe that people should be able to make a choice, as you said, Mr. President. And we will invest more in affordable vehicles. This allows us to invest in affordable vehicles made in the U.S., which we will take the lead on, and will allow us to make vehicles more affordable. So thank you for making this step for all of you.
Thank you very much. One of the other things we're doing, it's separate from this meeting, but I think everybody here would agree with it. If you go to Japan, where I just left, and if you go to South Korea and Malaysia and other countries, they have a very small car, sort of like the Beetle used to be with the Volkswagen. They're very small, they're really cute. And I said, how would that do in this country? And everyone seems to think good, but you're not allowed to build them. And I've authorized the Secretary to immediately approve the production of those cars. So you'll be able to buy, they really are, they're actually, some of them are really beautiful, actually. If you take a look, Honda, some of the Japanese companies do a beautiful job. But we're not allowed to make them in this country. And I think you're going to do very well with those cars. So we're going to approve those cars. Would you like to say something about that?
Well, no, just that he never stops working. So even when he's on Asian time, he's calling me at midnight in the States. But he gave me the directive to clear the regulations on this, which we have. And so if Toyota or any other company wants to make smaller, more affordable cars, fuel efficient, we have cleared the deck so they can make them in America and sell them in America.
They're really nice and less expensive. And it really gives people a chance to have a car, have a brand new car as opposed to a car that maybe isn't so great. And so you car companies start thinking about that. I think it's going to be a tremendous market. Please, would you like to say something?
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great day for us at Stellantis today, because it's the day where we see CAFE regulation reconciled with real customers' demand. That's why at Stellantis we decided to invest through Jeep, Ram, Dodge, and Chrysler $13 billion in the next 4 years, increasing production by 50%, delivering to the market 5 new vehicles, and creating 5,000 additional jobs. That's because we believe in what you, Secretary Taffy, and all your team is doing in this country. We believe in growth to invest even more. So thank you very much. Thank you very much also for this great news of the K cars. which we are very interested into, and we are very looking forward.